Let's see if they get him an easy completion to start.
On 3rd down and 10, over the middle, finds his tight end. That's Daniel Bellinger fighting his way to the 30-yard line. It's going to be very close to a first down.
See if they take advantage.
Jacobs again on 2nd down, and Jacobs finds a crease, and Jacobs with a first down. Well, you can take a lot of pressure off a young quarterback if you can get Josh Jacobs.
They're just trying to make him communicate constantly and communicate with this O-line, who's who in that box.
Over the middle, open, and on the run, Jakobi Meyers. Meyers inside the 25 and down with a first down. 2nd down and 2. Raiders on the move. Meyers gets it on the jet sweep. Meyers down the sideline. What a cut! Touchdown! Jakobi Meyers!
With my decision making.
First carry for Barkley. It'll be a first down. And Barkley out. Slingshot engaged. 2nd and 10. Barkley on the ground into Raider territory at the 45. He gets 8. And Breida with his first carry puts his foot in the ground and plows upfield.
Gonna be tight.
That's very close. Just shy, it looks like, of the 33, which they need for the first down. So now the Giants, who were ready to go for it on their own 29 on the first possession, line up here 4th and short, and their version of the tush push. Did they get there? They need the 33 for a first down. Who's going to have the spot? Here we go.
So hard to replicate that.
Oh, he's short. And the Raiders get the stop. Amir Abdullah in the backfield for the first time. It's 3rd and 4. First 3rd down of the day for the Raiders. O'Connell looking. A dart off the hands of Jakobi Meyers. And it's incomplete. And the Raiders will have to punt it away. He's still out there, split up wide to the top of your screen. They go the other direction to Darius Slayton, and Slayton trying to get low down the sideline and get the first down. Looks like he's got it at the 30-yard line. Paris Campbell looking for first down yardage. He's close. Malcolm Kuntz trying to keep him from that first down, but by the spot, looks like he's got.
Kong. Let's go.
It's Barkley. Hesitation and then turns on the speed. Jalen Smith trying to catch up, and Barkley close to another first down, out of bounds just shy. First down and 10 at the 47. Jones, play action. Looking, chased by Crosby, trips around his own man. He was trying to get around Lawrence Cager, and Crosby will get his 7th sack of the year. Crosby got the sack there. So that brings in the rookie, Tommy DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
Came in at the end of that Jets game.
Be ready for some of that, but he's going to have to throw the ball a little bit.
Here he goes on 3rd and 27. Pressure again. Checks it short to Bellinger. Bellinger with a stiff arm. Stays on his feet. And Bellinger out of bounds. Well, until the ticket bill comes due. Then not so much a dream for Antonio Pierce as Josh Jacobs trying to get to the edge and stopped shy of the first down by Dane Belton. And 3rd down and 2 for O'Connell. Going to have to get the snap off quickly. He does so. The give is to Jacobs. Good cutback, first down, and weaves his way into Giants territory at the 49. Bo Hardigree said he was going to run a little more pace. One of the things he thought he could do today on a short week to work as Jacobs gets to the outside. A block from Devontae Adams and a first down. 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line. O'Connell over the middle. He finds Hunter Renfrow, and Renfrow spinning inside to the 15-yard line. And on first down, off the play fake. O'Connell, Renfrow again. Renfrow inside the 5 and down at the 3. 1st and goal, Las Vegas. And now to the line on first down and goal. Jacobs gets the carry, looking for room. Jacobs pushing the pile in for the touchdown. Jalen Smith's playing a ton. He just joined the team on Thursday. Here's Barkley, room on the edge, and Barkley, a little bit of speed shoved out by Trayvon Merrick. Just the 20th play of 20 yards or more allowed by the Raider defense. DeVito will step up in the pocket, and he's looking deep over the middle, and that ball is going to be intercepted Amik Robertson leaping in front of Jalen Hyatt for the pick. Robertson still on the run and all the way out to the 40-yard line. The best starting field position for the Raiders at the 40-yard line, and O'Connell wants to take a deep shot. And he's got Trey Tucker out there. Tucker diving, and he makes the catch inside the 10. First and goal, Las Vegas. In offense for this Raiders team, one half to the next. O'Connell off the play fake. That's Michael Mayer. Mayer on the edge, leaning for the pylon, and he's out of bounds.
It's downhill with Jacobs, no messing around.
Jacobs plowing forward to the goal line. Look at him reach the football over for the touchdown. First and 10 at the 25-yard line. DeVito over the middle, deflected, and it's intercepted. Caromed into the hands of Nate Hobbs. Hobbs inside the 30 and down near the Giants' 25. His first interception.
There's no DBs in warm-ups.
Second and 5. Here's Davante Adams, his first catch and first target and a first down for the Raiders.
Go get some water and some oxygen on the sidelines. We're going to need you.
24-yard try by Daniel Carlson is good.
Expecting Thibodeau off the edge.
Quiet so far for Thibodeau. Protection again for O'Connell. Checks it down short, and Amir Abdullah with that little twist.
About these two defenders right inside in the A-gaps.
O'Connell. Oh, what a strike to Jacoby Myers. He's got a first down at midfield. 15-yard pickup. Move the chains.
See this defense, the top.
Third down and 1. O'Connell, Adams on the sideline, makes the leaping grab and a first down. Third down and 15 at the 39 of the Giants. O'Connell out of the backfield. It's Amir Abdullah. And Abdullah up the sideline. He's going to end up short of the first down. Made from 24 earlier. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. And Tommy DeVito's the only other quarterback up today. DeVito to the air, wide open is Darius Slayton. And Slayton into Raiders territory, shoved out by Merrick. 34-yard pickup. DeVito back to the air, finds Wan'Dale Robinson. Another Giants first down. And DeVito checks it down to Barkley. Barkley just got the first down at the 24-yard line. Oh. DeVito, Crosby chasing. Finds some room to roam, throwing on the run, and a catch made at the 20 by Slayton. Look at Slayton fight to the 17-yard line before Spillane and Peters can combine on the stop. They snap it, get one more play before the end of the quarter, and it's Breida who gets a first down for New York at the Raider 13-yard line. DeVito, good protection, breaks down on the run, open in the back of the end zone, and a little hesitation for Wan'Dale Robinson. He checked his feet, and they were both in, and it's a Giants touchdown. He made sure his feet were in as he made the catch. Hand off to Barkley. Reverse, he wants to throw it. Bellinger looking, throws, incomplete.
See him signaling out to these guys in the bottom of your screen.
And a little miscommunication that time. Back out there on defense because the Giants got to go, Mark Sanchez. On fourth down, DeVito, nobody open. Buying time, now he finds the open man, and the ball jarred out of the hands of Isaiah Hodgins by Amik Robertson. Looks like the guy who's going to be the quarterback for the foreseeable future for the Raiders. O'Connell, pressure comes, and he just spikes that one into the turf. He had Micah McFadden breathing down his neck, and he knew it. And the kick by Carlson is a line driving through, and the Raiders have 30 points. And, you know, you meet Max, and none of that surprises you. As Saquon Barkley on the screen gets a first down for the Giants. DeVito to the sideline where Slayton has the catch of the first down.
He was working on Max Crosby last down.
DeVito back to the air, open as Bellinger into Raiders territory, and Bellinger 34-yard line of the Raiders. Here comes the pressure, and down goes DeVito for the 6th time today. The Raiders have a sack. 3rd and 8. Pressure again. DeVito in trouble. Breaks free from the first contact, and down he goes in the arms of Adam Butler.
But if you don't have an answer, they'll keep bringing it.
4th and 10. DeVito with time. Checks it short. Breida the catch, and Breida stopped short of the first down by Amari Burney. This Raiders defense has been something today. And Antonio Pierce wins his debut as Raiders head coach, knocking off the team he played with, the New York Giants. And the Raiders win this one 30-6. The Giants now 2-7.